So they got part 2 with Zach Osborne. Got the questions that he's been asking all the other riders. We'll just get into it, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. How did you get into motocross? What's your earliest memory of the sport?
So my dad raced cars, drag cars, and he was big into that. He was a high-level professional in drag racing, and I always just kind of gravitated more towards motorcycles. And my uncle rode a lot, and I saw him riding all the time. And I kind of always had a PW50 or a quad or whatever, and they just took me to like a local race at a fairground, and yeah, I mean, I can remember going there and being super nervous and throwing up on the starting line, which I've now kicked that habit. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just kind of blossomed really. We went to an amateur national here in the U.S., which is a pretty big race, and the first one we did, I won one class, and the next week was Loretta Lynn's, which is the biggest race in America, and for an amateur, I got third. So that after that, it kind of just quickly ramped up into something that was a lot more than just a hobby.
Yeah, because you did a lot of the testing with the KTM. Was it 85 or was it 80 then?
It was an 85. It was the first year we did a lot of testing with the bike in Germany at the end of 2002. All the pre-production stuff I was part of, and it was super cool experience, and something that I really value to have gotten me to where I am today is just the experience that I gained and knowledge I learned there.
It really helps.
Just from developing and kind of understanding how things worked. And my parents owned a shop, so that was another thing that kind of helped me. I worked on bikes a lot. I still really enjoy working on bikes, and I think that for me, the better I can understand how things work and what I'm feeling, what's happening to cause what I'm feeling, how I can change what I'm feeling. I think that's a big part of my success.
Yeah, I did an interview thing for this, and I said I did mention like how good you were at testing, because you knew what you wanted. It wasn't like just vague like a lot of riders are. You sort of knew exactly what to adjust.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's a big part of it. I think it's a bigger part than probably most people realize, especially here in the States. There's so many options, and with Supercross, it's such a fine line of adjustment that you can actually use one way or the other. And now, like with 4-strokes and with the suspension technology and stuff, everything's so sensitive to every little thing, and it's tough. So that's something I really value is the time that I learned from testing it as a kid.
I think some riders, it's good for them to to have that mindset where they know how the bike. Other riders, it's better the less they know, the better. I think for some riders.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, some people they think they know what they want, but maybe it's not achievable, or you have to kind of set some parameters for yourself as well as to how good things actually can be, or when you're comfortable not continuing to just down one wormhole or whatever. You gotta kind of put the brakes on it for now and then.
Achievable way, so
right.
It'll never be perfect, but cool. We'll get to the next question because we went off track there a bit, I think. But what riders did you look up to and idolize when you were young? Did you ever get to race any of your heroes?
So I grew up around Brownie a lot. He rode at my track all the time when I was a kid, and he was just kind of a good family friend. And it's kind of crazy how parallel our paths have been.
I used to love watching him on 125. Watching him ring a 125, it's just one of the best.
Yeah, he was so good, and he would ride at my place a lot when he was on the Cat Honda for Thorpe, and he would come there and just do motos on motos and eat a gel over a 3-hour course of 3 45-minute motos, and it was just crazy. I think that's a little bit where my work ethic came from, is just watching him growing up. And I actually did get to race him a couple times just as I was turning kind of amateur professional. I never got to race him as a pro, I don't think, but it was a cool moment for me. And now he works for Alden at the Baker's factory, so I see him pretty much every day, which is really, really cool for me.
That's cool. He's a good guy. He was over doing the vets donations last year.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a good dude.
Still really fast.
What's that?
Still really fast on the bike.
Yeah, he is. He's so good, and it's impressive. I mean, I think he's 47 now, and he still just loves dirt bikes.
Yeah, he's great. Cool. Was that you? So I was looking up to. That was him. Then, really, you think though?
Yeah, not really many other people, because I wasn't really around many other people. As far as high level guys, Brownie was kind of the local guy, but he was also on a really high level, on good teams and stuff. So that was kind of my guy.
Yeah, he's good. Okay, number 3. Who would you consider to be your closest rivals? Who do you enjoy racing with the most, and why?
Right now, definitely Cooper. We ride together a lot. We're quite good friends, and he hates to lose just as much as I do. If not more. He's pretty crazy, but I enjoy racing him. I enjoy, obviously when I beat him, and it's not as enjoyable when he beats me. So it's kind of gnarly.
You spend a lot of time together training and that, the week and that as well, I suppose. So.
Yeah, 3 days a week riding together, and then we're pretty much on all the same flights and at the same races every weekend. So it we see a lot of each other, but it's one of those deals where it's friendly until the gate drops.
Well, yeah, that's just the way it is,
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's cool. I don't know. You can't really. I don't know if you can answer this, because you're gonna have to be political about it. Today, what has been your favourite race bike during your career? And which team have you enjoyed racing for most? I mean, you're currently on a good. You're riding now. You can't.
Yeah, I mean the bike I'm on is really good. The bike that I enjoyed the most from my career was probably my 17 outdoor Husky. Was really, really good. The one that I won the championship on. That bike was it wasn't ridiculously fast, but it was just something I knew I could count on every time I rode it.
Yeah.
And a setting that I had developed over like the course of 3 years, to where I was just super comfortable with it. I knew exactly every move it would make, how it was going to feel coming into a bump. There was, I was just really at one with the bike, and it was just such an automatic thing for me to ride. It was just so easy. As far as the team goes, I mean, shoot, it's hard to beat like the 09, 2010 Dixon teams. Like, we just had so much fun, and things were so simple.
It's a different,
looking back,
different world, different way of doing things, definitely.
Yeah, it's not even really like comparable, just because of the difference in the way things are here and there. But the Dixon team when I was there was one of my favorites for sure.
No, it was good. They were good times, definitely. Cool. What we've got? What's your favorite race number? I was going to ask you about this one actually. Yeah, I know about the 338, but how has it changed through the years? Which it has a. Is there any reason for having it, and how did it come about?
Well, 338's like my number. Obviously, that's the number I raced the whole time I was in Europe. The first year I was back here, that was the number that I had from 8 years old at the first amateur national race that I ever went to. So that's kind of my number at heart, and then I had 168 as my first AMA pro number.
Oh yeah.
And then 338 when I came back for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then 16 ever since then. I had a chance at the end of 2017 to take a single digit number, which would have been 7, 5, 7, 8, or 9.
Yeah.
But I chose to just keep 16 because I felt like that was kind of the number that all my success came with, and it's just something I felt I had kind of trademarked a little bit. So and I couldn't go back to 338 because you can only run a triple digit if you don't score a national number. So had I had the opportunity, I possibly would have gone back to 338.
Yeah.
But the reason for 16 was just mainly because it was the lowest number that I could choose other than 13 at the time. Yeah. So I took 16, and that was my, here we have career numbers or lifetime numbers, whatever. So I chose 16, and just been running it ever since.
It's kind of attached to you quite well, actually. I always, like to say career numbers and that, but I always used to being 338, obviously, when I worked with you and that, but the 16, I'm sort of think of you when you see 16 now, eh? So
yeah, it took a couple of years for me to even get used to, like, just, oh, that's my bike, 16, because I had been 338 for so long, and it took a while to stick, but it's kind of crazy because I had 338, then 168, and then 16, and then I was planning to choose 8 if I was going to take a single digit, so then I would have been like 16, 16, and then 8, and then, it's kind of all the same in the end.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you before when you said about the bike, the 250F. I don't know if they do it with the Nationals. Do you get the championship bike?
Yep, I have 2. I'm waiting on the third one. They're just they're still using it for some promo stuff and that, so I'll get a third one eventually. Hopefully I can get some more. Actually, one of my practice mechanic is currently building. I had a leftover bike that Steve left here from my Supercross year, so he's working on getting that back together and up and running, and it's all pretty much all legit as I raced it here in America, so it's pretty sick.
That's cool. I'll see a picture of that when it's done.
Yeah, we'll do. I'll send you one.
Yeah. What outdoor track, Supercross venue do you least enjoy racing at?
That's hard. Supercross venue, I would say probably Oakland, just because it's super. Actually, I'll take that back. Phoenix. I hate Phoenix.
Right.
Like this year we went there. I pulled 2 hole shots, and I got like a 5th place start in the other one, and I got dead last on the night because of just dumb little crashes or getting taken out on the first turn, whatever. And then the last time I raced there, before that, I got jumped on, and that cost me a shot at the championship that year. But that's my least favorite Supercross. My least favorite outdoor would probably be Washougal, because it's a great track, cool dirt, all the stuff, all the right ingredients, but the shadows make it sketchy, and it's just kind of sneaky slick, which causes some major issues. But yeah, it's not because it's a bad track. We don't really have any not good tracks on the national circuit. Washougal is probably my least favorite, because I would say it plays to my favor the least, more than anything.
Yeah. All right, cool. What's been your favorite racing gear you've worn to date? Have you got a particular kit and helmet or that you've?
Man, that's tough.
So many, I suppose.
So all of the kits that we had in 2009 that were really, really like matchy, with the UTAG bike, we had a blue and red set like that I won in Turkey in. It's kind of red, white, and blue. That one looked good with the replica Rye helmet that I had at the time. I really liked the red stuff that I wore in 2018. With it looked great with red backgrounds.
Oh,
everything does.
Yeah.
The 2009 yellow Yamaha that we had at
that was cool.
Mallory Park. That one was really, really cool.
You had that was when you had a broken wrist, wasn't it? I think.
Broken wrist from Portugal.
But we on the Sunday or the Saturday we had the bikes as normal, and then on the Sunday we had like a one-off yellow. Yeah,
it was so cool that I pretty much just raced because of that. Oh yeah, there you go. That's the one.
I've got a couple of things, but like that was we yellowed the bikes for the British GP. Yeah,
it was really cool. But I had a matching helmet. Everything was just like so on point, and that's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I remember that helmet. It was cool because that was your signature one that they sold, but in yellow.
Yeah, they changed it up a little bit for the yellow. It was really sick. I still have it actually. I have almost all of my I do have every painted helmet that I've ever had, pretty much.
Cool. Well, I know a little bit about this one. Not many know this, but do you have any superstitions or anything that you specifically do on race days? Kind of. I've still got somewhere. You gave me some goggles, Smith goggles, that you wouldn't wear because they had skulls on them.
Yeah, I don't do skulls.
Yeah, I get that. It is.
I don't. I put my gear on kind of the same way every time, like right sock, left sock, right brace, left knee brace, that kind of stuff. Other than that, nothing really huge. I've tried to kind of break the chains of that stuff a little bit, and because it's kind of it's just a distraction really to take your mind away from something, just over something that's small and dumb that doesn't really make a difference. It's just something that you've built up in your mind. So tried to break the chains of all that stuff more recently, but yeah, there's nothing major. I still do put my gear on the same way.
A lot of people do.
That's about the only one that I have left at this point.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, what we got? Where did you race as a it says schoolboy, but I suppose you say amateurs, don't you? There, but where did you race as a schoolboy? Did you travel much as a youngster?
Yeah, I mean, here in America, if you don't travel, you're pretty much it's such a big country with so many different tracks and stuff. We traveled everywhere all the time, probably 40 weekends a year, if not more. I was really fortunate to have supportive parents and good sponsors that could make that happen for me and kind of get me headed in the right direction. And it was always fun to go to the races.
Yeah, it's good. Well, the biggest difference you have to adapt from riding outdoor tracks around the world at the GPs, I guess, compared to America and the Supercross setup. I've always thought that it's quite hard to compare the Americans and the Europeans because it's almost two different things, eh? It is.
Yeah, it's very different.
It is.
Our 6 months of our years, well, even more than that now, like 8 months of our years based around Supercross, and then we ride outdoors from May, June, July, and August. So, it's just the biggest thing for me for the GPs is that the dirt or the condition or the country, like everything is so variable compared to here. Typically we fly on Friday, we race on Saturday, go home on Sunday. It's pretty straightforward. We, unless there's some huge mud fest, the conditions are relatively the same most weekends.
Yeah,
I would say, ripped deep with sawdust and big ruts, which I like, but that's the two biggest things. And I think that the style of racing is just a little bit different. We have 2 15-minute sessions on Saturday morning and then 2 30-minute motos, whereas the GPs you have all day Saturday with the qualifying race, which is a lot of riding, and then again on Sunday. So I think that they do a lot more racecraft type riding than what we do as far as outdoors go. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest thing for me is just the kind of the pace and the cadence of what a 2-day race compared to a 1-day race, and it being sort of not our second priority, but in a sense.
Cool. Right, we've got your favorite track as a youth rider, then during your pro career, and GPs or America, or you got, I guess, any standout tracks? I guess,
Yeah, Matterley is definitely one of those tracks for me. 17 at the Nations on the Saturday was one of the best tracks I've ever ridden in my life. Just so much fun.
I didn't get that because Steve was looking for somewhere to do the GP in 2005, and I went down there with him, and I'm stood in the field. I'm like, it's a nice valley, but it was just a big field.
Yeah.
Like, can't see this. How are you going to have a Jeep here? It's just how are you going to make anything of it? And that's like that's where he's quite smart, eh?
Yeah.
And that place is a lot of riders' favorite track, eh?
It's unreal. It's a good track. Like I said, the dirt on the Saturday was just like Velcro. You could literally I felt like I was riding asphalt. You know, it was crazy. Matterley's definitely top of the list for me. Right. As far as America goes, I like Hangtown, but that's a little bit results based. You know, I've had good runs there.
Yeah.
Won 2 nationals there in the 250 class, and the only track that I can really say honestly that isn't results based would be Matterley. The rest of them would be like have some stipulation of how I did there or I won there or something like that.
A bit like where was it Phoenix? You didn't like.
Not pretty much the same.
Phoenix, but it's because you had bad luck there, or.
Great place. Phoenix is a great place. The stadium's actually sick. The dirt isn't that great, but I ate it.
You just haven't gone with it. But that's cool. So that was tracks. What's been your most memorable race or meeting to date? Why does it stick to your memory? But you got quite a few, I would imagine, that stick out. But
yeah,
like national.
Some of them would be like, one of them is Millville in 2017, the year I won the 250 outdoor championship.
Yeah.
My bike, we had like a little rubber insert in the head come out in the first moto.
Right.
And I managed to limp it home for 8th, and there was nearly no oil left in at the end. And I knew, it was another one of those things where I knew what was happening, and I knew kind of what I needed to do to manage the bike and manage the race. And I got 8th, and I literally fist pumped when I crossed the finish line because I was so relieved that it made it. I thought it happened like just past halfway, and the track was super muddy and long that day. So, I knew it was going to be like 38 minutes. I wasn't actually halfway. I was just 15 minutes of the 30, but it was one of those deals where, man, it was such a relief to cross the finish line. That's got to be up there. My first win at Budds Creek in 2016 was pretty big, just because the timing of it. I'd had some bike issues the weeks prior, and we were kind of backs against the wall as a team, and my mechanic was under fire and all kinds of stuff. So that was a big win for all of us, not just me. The whole team was super pumped. So my win in Turkey, that was monumental at the time.
It was.
Not only for my career, but like just where I was in the world, being in America and all that. That was pretty huge for me.
Weird place to be. Just we were out the paddock was like an airport strip, and it's just middle of nowhere. We drove there. It was a long drive to Istanbul.
Yeah, and I remember I got on the plane in Brussels. And I didn't have a rental car on the other side. I didn't have a ride on the other side. Didn't know where I was going.
Yes.
Got lucky and was on the plane with a Danish guy, Nikolai Larsen, who happened to be much in the same situation. And we walked outside and literally got in a Turkish taxi. Dude could have taken us to anywhere, and took us right to the track. And that was that. It was crazy.
I remember looking at the track the weekend. I felt good about it. It reminded me a bit of the track in Ireland.
Yeah, it was very man-made, and the dirt was not very good. I remember that. It was like black crap dirt, but it was a good weekend.
Actually, I don't even remember you saying about limping the bike home. We had a British Championship in Duns. I think it might have been 2010.
Yeah.
Second, I think you won all 3 races on the day, but in the second race you came in and you said the bike seized like 10 minutes in or something. It was really cold up there and windy.
Yeah.
And it was like 10. You won the race. I can't remember who you were battling with, but you said it seized about 10 minutes in, but the thing was still running, eh? But
I don't remember that. The only thing I remember from Duns was the next year, something broke. The banjo broke on my brake line, and I didn't have any brakes. I think I got second that moto.
Right. No, it was. But you said the bike was seized and like it was running. But I was like, okay, well, I trust what you say. Yeah, I was put a new engine in, took it back and we dynoed it, and sure enough, it was like pretty much half power or something like that, and it seized. But the Cosworth stuff was that good that it kept running. The rings it seized, but it was that good. This stuff that it got you home. But
I don't actually remember that. That's kind of impressive because I normally remember that kind of stuff.
No, yeah, that's it. You said it was about 10 minutes in because you were lap times are still good and everything. You must have just been ringing it, but yeah, you said it seized really early on in, and sure enough, it had. But it was just when you said
funny.
That was quite funny. Yeah, I didn't know if you remembered that. Yeah. Cool. So that was tracks. What do we get to? Oh, race. Remember weekend. Who are your closest friends in and around the paddock? How easy is it to block out that friendship when the gate drops? I think you all know how to do that, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't completely alienate yourself. I mean, I guess you can. There's guys who do, but obviously I train with Cooper and Marvin day in and day out, and you can't go there and be a dickhead to them or whatever, and be have that tension all the time, because that wears on you too. So you gotta kind of have that sort of friendship relationship, working relationship. You don't have to. You know that they would clean you out for a win, or you would do the same thing. So definitely those guys are probably my closest friends in the paddock, I would say. Alex Martin, we're good friends. I have quite a few good friends in the 250 class or whatever, but for the most part, I work with those guys day in and day out, see them 6 days a week. So that's probably the closest people to me.
No, it's cool. It's good to how important is it to have a mechanic you trust in the program? And how much of a difference does having a knowledgeable team that understands you, on both sides of the fence for that one?
Yeah, I mean, mechanic is huge. If you're going up there with doubts in your mind and thinking, what if, or is there gas in my bike or whatever, that's a massive thing. And that's something that Dave, my current mechanic, and I have built over.
A team should never put you in that position, I don't think. But
what's that?
A team should never put you in a position that you're worrying about your mechanic.
No, for sure they shouldn't. But it does happen. I've been very fortunate my whole career to have good mechanics. But that relationship and that bond is really important. And as far as the team dynamic goes, I think some people don't care about it. Some people can just have a bunch of people that they don't like around them, but that are good at what they do, and they're fine with it. But for me, it's more of a comfort thing. I want to kind of have a relationship with people, them reciprocate their relationship, and everything kind of be okay and mesh well. That's really important for me, especially as far as having success goes, is having people around me that I enjoy, and a mechanic that I can trust.
Yeah, you've had the same mechanic for a few years now, haven't you?
Yeah, Dave Feeney, he's been my mechanic for the whole time I've been at Husky, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
He's been on the scene. He's been on the scene there for a long time, hasn't he?
I think he was his first year in America was 1993.
Yeah.
So he's been here a hot minute.
Definitely, yeah. Cool. Right. Do you have any regrets from your career to date? Any meetings you should have won or done better, or ridden a bike that has maybe been detrimental to your career?
No, there's definitely no decisions I regret, because I wouldn't really change anything where I am like right now. So, all those things it's like the butterfly effect that, one tiny thing changes something major over here. So, to say I would change something or I regret something, no, definitely not. I'm really grateful for all the people that I've been around and all the things that I've gotten to experience as a racer. As far as bikes go, I've always had good bikes, except for maybe 2008. The Yamaha Troy bike was not that great because there was no money in the team basically. So we were kind of on a whim, but I was really blessed to be able to go there to you guys, to Steve, and have good stuff again and have a good committed team. So for me, no, there's not really any regrets. Not many things I would change. There's a couple races that sting. The one from last Wednesday night, not this Wednesday, but last Wednesday, I should have won that race. I just mentally let it get away from me a little bit, which sucked. To lead 20 laps, which is the brunt of the race, it was a bummer.
The races feel longer, but now they're timed.
Yeah, it's tough. It makes it's a completely different dynamic to the race.
Yeah.
Especially now that we've done the 20-minute thing for so long, and that they're so much longer. You definitely, I could literally send it into oblivion for 20 laps, So, whereas 20 minutes, sometimes the last 3 or 4 minutes, it's a real sufferfest. And you kind of have to, you can kind of tell at 12 minutes where you're going to be at 16 minutes. And sometimes you're like, okay, this next 4 minutes, I need to not pace myself, but, maybe knock 2/10 off of it or 3/10 off of it and save a little bit for the end or whatever. But, yeah, that one stung big time. Other than that, a couple of 250 races in 2016, where Webb beat me like 2 laps to go.
Yeah.
Just getting beat basically mentally. Those bug me a little bit, but yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, I wouldn't really change anything to be where I am now.
Yeah, I guess it all had to happen to get to where you are. Yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I don't really have any regrets to sit where I'm sitting today and
exactly
the situation I'm in.
It's cool, man. Right, if you could summarize your racing style in 3 words, what would they be?
Aggressive. No. Aggressive, tenacious, and not stylish.
Oh no, you've got your own style. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit my own style. I wish, I'm sure everybody is the same, but I wish I had a little bit more of let's say DeSalle finesse or Paul Lance smoothness, those types of things that I kind of envy other guys for, but they may have things that they envy me for. So
you've always reminded me a little bit Jeff Ward. Maybe that's
okay.
more just a stature, maybe, but just
I think that's part of the style of being a short guy. Is everything looks a little bit wilder.
Yeah. It can be.
Like everything with the bike makes us move that much more. Compared to a guy like Eli, who's 6 foot tall, weighs 180, who's really a brute force. 5'8", 160. There's a lot of a lot of difference there where leverage and ratios come in. So I think that's part of the style of being a short guy. Is just things are a little bit wilder.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Right, what would you consider your biggest strengths as a racer to be?
Probably my fitness and my willingness to take it to the limit. Just fitness wise and riding wise, if I'm on the track, I'm going to go for it all the way. So I think that's probably my biggest strength.
I don't know if I'm right or not, but I always thought you somehow had to work a lot harder on your fitness than a lot of other guys. And
I'm naturally kind of pudgy. I've worked hard to be.
How hard you've worked to get to where you are, eh? Like I can just tell from the shape you're in. It's you'll see incredibly.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not something that comes naturally to me. And even riding, I'm naturally good at riding, but I have to work a little bit harder than than some others that that I see or that I'm around. It's just, that's who I am. That's kind of how it works for me. But also, I know that, and I know that when I do the work, the results will come. So it's kind of, in a sense, for me, it's like a 1-to-1 ratio. If I'm doing the work, I'm going to get the results. So it's kind of easier for me mentally to be able to do that, whereas someone who's maybe more talented or more fit, like, they don't really have to do that. So it kind of goes a little bit wayward. But for me, mentally, I know if I'm doing the work, the results will come.
Yeah, that's definitely. We're getting near the end.
It's been fun. I enjoy it.
It's cool. Yeah, everyone's been loving it, mate. It's gone mad. It's gone really mad. We've got some big riders. It's been really cool. I'm glad you.
That's cool.
Really cool to do.
And I've checked some of them out.
Yeah. If you could re-race a particular meeting or race again, where would it be, and what and why?
Actually, Assen last year really sucked.
Oh yeah.
With our goal when we went there was realistically to be on the podium. Like, the chances of us winning was like they had to have a massive meltdown. They had to have at least 2 DNFs. Or even that may not have done it for us. And we were realistic about that.
Yeah.
And having Justin win on Saturday with 36th gate pick or whatever we had, and then just it seemed like everything was kind of taking shape. We qualified second out of the Saturday, and then first lap of the first race, Justin and Jason came together by the absolute, minute chance of all chances, and Justin broke his hand. So that sucked. Like, we all had put a lot into it. We went there weeks early, and we were grinding hard and all of that. And that's one thing that from my career that I really want is to be on the podium at a Nations, or I really would love to win one. But that was a big bummer for me and for everybody involved, really, because like I said, we all put so much effort into it. We all kind of spent a lot of our own money to do it, and for it to be, at the end of the day, basically a flop, it sucked.
Yeah, it was. It's a shame that it was washed out like it was, But
yeah, it was a tough day.
But yeah, that's okay. What do you feel is your biggest achievement in motocross to date, and why? Has your career goal changed much since you changed out or started out on your journey, motocross journey?
My biggest achievement to date would probably be just getting to where I am today. From where I was kind of in the beginning, like in the end of 2007, to having, basically no riding for free for a team that was kind of on the brink, to now being kind of a podium 450 guy, on a good team, doing all the things that I dreamed of then. So for me, that's the biggest accomplishment. It's just kind of that contrast of bringing myself back from the abyss, basically, which doesn't happen very often.
No.
And to now have success and be able to enjoy all the time in the fire, and kind of being forged in the fire, and now kind of getting to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's cool, man. How did you find transitioning from the World Championships to America, in particular Supercross? Or the adjustments you had to make with your style?
Well, I was really fortunate for Steve to support me in 2012 to kind of get my feet wet.
Yeah.
And get back here on a good team. I think that was a big thing.
He knew ultimately you wanted to come back here, eh? So I'm sure he would have loved you to stay, but.
Well, I was aging out that year, and he knew that, and we
that rule sucks. I think it's just
it does.
Stupid rule.
I agree. But we were kind of at the end of 2011, I had an offer to come back for 2012 full time in America, and I was considering taking it. And he promised me if I would stay and do one last year in GPs that he would take me Supercross in. So we did the 4 Supercross races, and that was really successful.
Yeah.
Obviously, and I got on the Geico Honda team, and like I said, it was very rigid corporate. This is the bike. You can go a little bit this way, a little bit this way. Whereas, you know, I came from Steve's team where I was successful and having fun. And if I needed a pink fender for Saturday and it was Wednesday, he was going to get me a pink fender. You know, it was one of those deals. So that was the hardest thing in the beginning, was just kind of coming back and realizing again that it was still like square and corporate, and that I had to kind of refit that mold, and I didn't at that team at all.
No.
It was kind of it wasn't a struggle for 2 years, but it was kind of like a back and forth. Like I'd have a decent result and then it wouldn't be that good, whatever. So that was the hardest thing for me, was kind of realizing that I needed to kind of fit this mold again, and that there weren't many Dixon Racings in America.
Not in America, man. But you must have found a good balance there now, though, with the team, like being comfortable, being able to, change the things.
Yeah, my team now is kind of I would say more middle of the road with that. And we have some good people, some good smart people who really can make good decisions and help me out with that kind of stuff. So that's been a huge part of my success with Husky, and just over the last few years is finding people that I'm comfortable with. Like I said earlier, I need that kind of comfort with people who can reciprocate, you know, the friendship or what we're talking or whatever. That's a big part of it for me.
All right. Which riders, past or present, would you say you disliked or didn't enjoy racing against the most, and why? Did you have any of those riders you kept clashing with, maybe? Or I know when he did this with Alessi, he came straight up with Josh Grant, I think it was. And
oh, really?
A lot of was
for me, no. The two Cowies that I raced in 2017, which was Savachi and Cianciarulo, we obviously had a couple run-ins, and that was a really tough thing for me. Like, I didn't hate racing them, but I always felt like the villain, and I'm not. I don't play the villain very well, so that was really tough for me. Not only like on the track, but off the track mentally as well. Like, just getting badgered on Instagram or, you know, whatever, comments and this and that. It was tough on me to kind of be the villain, but at the time that was what it was, and you know, they didn't pull any punches as far as things said or whatever, so that was tough. But like now it's totally fine, you know, I'll talk to either one of them at any time. So it was just a period of my career where I needed to take what I had and go with it, basically.
Yeah, there wasn't anyone in particular. Who would you consider as 3 best riders you competed against during your career?
Oh, wow, that's tough. Probably Jeffrey and Kenny would be at the top, you know, top of the list. And then, Cooper's really good, and he like, he has a switch that like I've never seen anyone before, like with just being able to really turn it on when the gate falls, like he can and just turn it on. And you know, having what I said earlier with me knowing that my work ratio is 1-to-1, like, you know, that's really tough for me, because I wish I could just be like, okay, you know, I'm going to do my thing during the week, and then I'm going to go to the weekend and I'm just going to be on. You know, I can't do that. I need to do all the things during the week and make it happen. Not that he doesn't, but his race craft is just unreal.
Yeah. No, it must be interesting to see from them. But yeah, everyone's different, eh?
Yeah.
If you give any advice to a youngster currently racing in school motocross that wants to go pro, what would it be?
I know it's cliche, but like the fun, like you have to keep it fun. As soon as you lose the fun, pretty much it all starts to go downhill. As soon as you are doing it as a job, or you're doing it for some other reason other than that it's because you have fun doing it. It's going to go downhill. So that's probably my biggest advice to anyone for anything is remember the reason you started doing it, and keep it fun.
Definitely, yeah. Just a couple more. What other sports do you enjoy doing or watching?
I love fishing. I love fly fishing, rod and reel fishing, either one. That's kind of my go-to hobby. Taking up golf over the last couple of years. I enjoy going golfing. When I have time, it takes a long time, obviously, so it's not that often that I get to get out. But since we've been here in Salt Lake, I've been playing quite a bit, and it's been really, really fun. And I love to watch biathlon on TV, where they cross-country ski and then shoot with guns. Yeah, that's one of my favorite sport. That probably is my favorite sport on TV.
You did a bit of that though, didn't you? Training with Kenneth.
Yeah, I did a lot of cross country, but never any biathlon. But I'm going to someday. I'm going to go to a school or something.
Yeah, because the year over, Kenneth was actually our rider that year, but he got injured.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy story. I actually ended up getting to come because of Kenneth being injured, and then he became my trainer for a couple of years thereafter, which was really cool. We had a good time, and he was really, really good for me. Someone I still value, through the years, and I talk to him every now and then. So,
cool. What are your social media usernames? People can follow you. Anything?
At Zacho_16 is my Instagram and Twitter, and I don't have a personal Facebook. I only have a Facebook fan page, I guess you would call it. Yeah. And that's just Zach Osborne.
Yeah. Any shout outs you want to make? Anything else?
No, but thank you guys for doing this. I'm gonna watch some of the other ones, and I can't wait to see yours with Dixon. It's gonna be all time.
Yeah, I think I've got him pinned down for Tuesday evening. So
good luck with that.
You should
Tuesday, this Tuesday or next Tuesday, or like Tuesday in 2 years. Or...
Well, yeah, Steve's next Tuesday. Yeah, could be any time.
Nice.
You should drop in on it, maybe.
Yeah, let me know, and I might get in on it. I'll have to bash him a little bit.
Give us some abuse.
Yeah.
All right. No, I really appreciate you doing that. Hey, thanks for that.
Yeah, anytime, guys. I appreciate it, and look forward to seeing it and seeing some of the other episodes.
Yeah, there's plenty there. So, thanks a lot, and
yeah,
I hope it was good to watch. Cheers.